BRUDDC and KITTY got a show to glow. Life stories wild like a late night dream. We're spilling the tea and it's hot like steam. BRUDDC and KITTY, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the BRUDDC and KITTY show. From trending news to the tales untold, spinning the wheel, let the stories unfold. Catch us in the vibe where the chatter grows, with a pair that keeps you on your toes. What's the buzz? What's the word? Spill it fast, haven't you heard? BRUDDC and KITTY, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the BRUDDC and KITTY show. Truth or dare, we're taking the leap. Stories that'll make you laugh or weep. Tune in now, let the fun explode. This is your stop, it's the BRUDDC code.
What is up, good people? You're watching the BRUDDC and KITTY show. Kitty, how are we doing on this lovely Wednesday?
Really great, because I've done Pilates today. I did spin class and then I did Pilates. I know this is all I talk about, and this is a good day for me. If I've done my Pilates and stretched and become more bendy.
I think you just like to make me feel bad because I've not been going gym lately. Although I did get myself in the gym last night. I got in just before, I got in at 10 p.m. and I stayed there for 2 hours. So I kind of made it. And tonight I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to go a bit later on.
Am I making you feel bad, or am I sort of inspiring you to get out there and do it?
Inspiring me, definitely inspiring me. Yeah, but you know, it's getting to summer and people want to get fit again. So it is what it is.
As they say, summer bodies are made in winter.
Indeed. Who done the stabbing in Leicester? I have no idea, buddy.
Random.
I know. Oh, it's it's Everything Young CEO. That guy, that brother. He's always got some shit going. Anyway,
I know he's always got something to sort of.
Oh, did it happen today? Did it? Did something happen today in Leicester? Let me have a look quickly.
Wow.
Let me have a look and see what's going on. Let's have a butcher's. That's the perfect way to start the show, eh? Who done the stabbing in Leicester?
Yeah, no, not even hello. Hi.
I know. You got to come in with a hello. It happened last night. Just came out. Okay, I just came across it. Okay, with you. Next time, lead with hello, buddy. Good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon.
How goes you and the lovely Kitty on this lovely day? Next time, lead with that, bud.
Hi.
Who done the stabbing? Right, I'm searching. 1 second. Anyway, let's get back to it. Kitty, how are we doing on this lovely Wednesday?
All good. Like I say, totally bendy. It's brilliant. Brilliant. Cool. When you get to a certain age, you've got to look after your joints, and the NHS aren't gonna be able to give us new ones. So look after them. Pilates.
Cool. Where do we want to start first, Kitty? Nadja, shout out to you. How are you?
Let's continue where we left yesterday. We was talking about women and the relationships and so on and so forth.
Hi, Claire. Sorry.
And one of the things I want to talk about is two of my heroes.
Okay.
And heroines, which is Jelly Roll and his wife Bunny XO.
I believe you got a video. Let's get this video up for you, and then you can break it down for us. So this is Jelly Roll. What is it? When I heard you, is it that song he sings, isn't it?
He's just won a Grammy for the best country album.
Yes,
as well.
I see. He looks so much different as well because
he's lost a lot of weight.
Jesus, all right, let's have a look and see what he's saying.
Comes into my life, I have to sit Bunny down, and man, this is the first time we've ever talked about this outside of her podcast. Mm-hmm. I have to sit Bunny down and go, look, I have a kid that you know about that I'm fixing to have to get full custody of. There's also a woman out there that's pregnant with a kid of mine. And Bunny's just like, whew. Man, that's a lot. She was like, but I got you, whatever. I don't have a house. I'm homeless. So she's like, well, the first thing we have to do is get you somewhere to live in Nashville. I was like, well, I can't put it in my name. I'm a felon. I don't have enough proof of income to get the kind of place we need to get her in the right school district. Bunny's like, let's just go get a condo so you have a bedroom for her. I'm like, all right, cool. So Bunny comes down there. Well, we're getting a condo. I'll never forget. Bunny looked at me, and man, it makes me emotional. She said, no matter what happens with us, I'm going to help you get this little girl.
Wow. Was this before he made the money as well? He's telling
Yeah,
the story.
so this was before they made the money. So what people don't know is he met Bunny while he was basically up and coming. Not he was still working bars and whatever. He'd also just come out of prison, and he'd also just got sober from obviously his past. So he was not in a great place. He'd got obviously one child and one on the way, and Bunny was working. She was quite famous for, let's say, premium stuff.
Okay, premium stuff. We like
Yeah,
that.
premium stuff. Now, Bunny is an absolutely gorgeous woman. So you look at Jelly Roll and you look at Bunny and you think, that doesn't work out. She's this absolutely stunning woman. And we was talking about this yesterday, weren't we? That, these stunning women need to maybe lower their standards, because of what they want in life. They want this relationship.
Yeah.
And he basically came to her with this story. Obviously, I need to get my daughter back. And she bankrolled the whole thing. Paid for lawyers, paid for a home, made sure his daughter was, they're married now.
Yeah.
They're married now, and he's making the money and she's doing really well for herself. But wow, what a woman.
Yeah.
And I just want more women to realize that that's what it takes. Sometimes you're going to meet somebody and he means the world to you, and he's going to mean the world to you.
Yeah.
But he's not where he should be just yet.
Yeah. The way I look at it is, I think it's slightly different than normal situations. And when I say this, we're talking about when you see a really pretty woman with a really sort of untraditionally attractive man,
Yeah.
sort of, the fact that she was obviously in the X industry, it shouldn't, but it does almost, especially if it's like XX industry, it does sort of lower the value on the dating market. So there's only a certain type of man that's willing to marry and take that woman serious anyway. And you've got this guy Jelly Roll. He's a he obviously he hadn't made it yet, but you don't just make it overnight. So he's obviously, do you know what some women always say? They're willing to buy potential, and she obviously saw potential in him. She saw the growth in him, and it wasn't like he was a lost cause. If he was just like a deadbeat sort of on the street, there's no chance. You have to have something about you. So that's motivation for the guys. So if you're not quite the full picture, the full package, and you're building yourself, you're working yourself up, women will buy into you, because that's ultimately what it is. The dating game. Women will make a choice on your on the deal, and it's basically it's transactional. It shouldn't be, but it feels transactional. Can this guy look after me? Is this guy going somewhere? Can I have a future with this guy?
Yeah,
all these kind of things come into it, don't they?
It's about the future, isn't it? You're looking at a man, and you're looking at a future. So most women just want that man that's going to protect them, whether it be financially. I know that Bunny said that she literally met him when she was coming out of a traumatic relationship. She was being beaten and whatever, and she found some comfort in Jelly. She obviously felt protected and very safe with him. But she literally held him down, and I just think that's amazing. And it shouldn't be amazing these days, but it is to me, to hear that story.
Well, to be fair, it's amazing coming from a woman, coming from the woman's side of it. It's like, this is very normal for men. Men will pick women up at their lowest. We don't, men, a millionaire man will go to KFC and find a young girl there and marry her, But a boss lady, millionaire, making millions of pounds every year, she ain't going to KFC and find someone to love. That's the reality of the situation. So yeah.
But what do you think though? Like, if you meet that girl and she builds you up, she builds you up and she builds you up, and you get somewhere, you become this, and in this case, this famous singer, and then he cheated on her.
unfortunately, with the XXXXX industry kind of stuff, it's kind of something that kind of goes with the territory. Unfortunately, like you're gonna have to the women that hi eccentric lady hi unfortunately, if you are in that XXXXX business, I mean full on X business, you know. It will limit your serious dating long term relationship like prospects. Like, you know, you have to find the right person that's willing to look beyond all this kind of stuff. And guess what, most men lie, because what do they want? They want to sleep with all these lovely beautiful women on social media. They want to sleep with them, they want to have as much fun as possible with them. Unfortunately, they don't tell them the real part is that they're fake future in, as you like to say. But you can't go to women of a certain age and say, guess what, I just want to give you some good roughness, like, you know, and then that'll be it. No strings attached roughness. And some women might get lonely and they might say, okay, maybe tonight will, you know, whatever. But ultimately, I feel like most women don't want to do that.
I just think he let her down in that moment. You know, obviously he'd been having this affair, and they were married at this point as well. And then he went and cheated, and I just think, oh. But do you know what went through my mind? What we was talking about, and I was like, do you know what you've got, Jelly? There. Do you know what you've got? You've got a woman that held you down when the shit hit the fan. And she has stayed with you, and she's beautiful. While you were £520, or so, it was over £500, and you were who you were, and you was coming up, and you do you know what you've got there? And he went, and luckily she's took him back, but
Yeah, I believe Jelly Roll did cheat. Someone's Centric Lady's asking. What I would say, and what people will say from the outside, is yes, I understand she's built him up and stuff, like, you know, she's looked after him and stuff, but ultimately, women know when they go into that industry and they go deep into it, it limits the options. So you might say, look at her, she's this beautiful woman, but this beautiful woman is on the internet with other men doing all types of things. Like, you know, that for most people is a deal breaker. Like, for a serious relationship with a serious high value man, that's a deal breaker straight away. Don't matter what you look like. Mia Khalifa, like, even her, she can't even get a man. You know, like, to take her seriously, she can get a man for a night, for 2 nights, for a year, but she can't get someone to take her seriously. Even though she's God knows how many millions she's into, like, you know.
yeah, but even if you have literally made that, you've gone into that industry for him. It just really sort of grates me. Maybe it's personal. I don't know. But
Yeah, I think it's deep in the industry. I think it's deep. The moment you start doing boy girl collaborations on the internet, and especially like hardcore kind of stuff as well. Unfortunately, like, you know, you ask most men, like, obviously most men are on social media. It's different. There's a lot of desperate men there, and it's just eye candy for them. They see it, they love it, and it's eye candy. But realistically, when this is where we are at the minute. Men are lying to women, and women are being deceived by the options that they have online. And, you know, both of them are clashing in a way, because people are like, oh, how comes I can't get a man, and blah blah blah. And then, you know, they're going on social media and finding this 6-foot guy, you know, great shape, you know, no kids, great job. And people know their value in this day and age. Just like most women know their value, the men of value know their value. And and the T's of the world are telling these men, like, you know, they're even let me tell you something now. Even the guys that aren't even 6 foot and 6 foot, but, you know, they've got some money behind them. Like, you know, they're being told you're the A side here. Like, you know, these women have got to get on your picture. Like, you get on your schedule. Like, you know, you can go abroad and have 5 wives brought over to you, whatever it is. This is the kind of thinking. It's bad, but also both sides have been benefiting from this. Like, women still benefit from it in a different way or whatever. But yeah, interesting. Mr. Bowman, interesting. One thing I wanted to talk about, we can't get away from it, this bloody Epstein list. Everyone's bloody talking about it. Epstein list. I think men wouldn't cheat as much if they knew the woman would be allowed to do the same if caught. Yeah, obviously, no one should be cheating anyway. But when it gets into the celebrity world, where there's serious, where these like where there's men of serious wealth and serious fame. Unfortunately, they play by different rules, and the women know. They know the deal, and most of the women are happy to sit in that luxury house, drive the 4x4, and be the main woman on paper, but they just let the guy do his thing, and that's how the relationship work. And loads of people have these relationships, and to be fair, those are probably the relationships that last the longest, because the guys don't want to divorce the woman ultimately because they don't want to lose half their shit, and they just
And
want to.
also, they're usually really good friends. I mean, you look at Sharon and Ozzy. Sharon and Ozzy were the same. She had to put up with a hell of a lot, and she held him down for so many years, and she absolutely adored him. But you hear some of her stories and some of the things he did. I think it's, if you move in them circles, you've got to learn that life, haven't you? That men are it's on a plate for them most of the time when you're a rock star, and it's there.
Yep. Claire thinks the Epstein list is a distraction. She thinks we're all being distracted by this Epstein list. All I want to say is, they've released all these documents, and they've released an extra million images and bloody all this sort of fancy business that they're talking about. There are young children. One of the criticisms has been from people that have been able to see these things has been that there's young children on there and they've been exposed.
Yeah.
And from most normal, logical people's minds, we know that there were children on that island. We know there were prominent figures of all political parties going to this island and seeing him. What we don't know is exactly who they are. We do know that Donald Trump is all over. We do know that there are loads of women saying that Trump did this, Trump did that. What I didn't like Trump's reaction to being questioned about it, because
No.
let's get it up, because this is a classic deflection tactic. So Kitty, you say to me, I heard you attack that girl last night, and I say to you, Kitty, you're never smiling. And let's just watch Trump. Let's watch Trump in action.
She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years.
A few months ago, you had in your office here Peter Mandelson, the British ambassador. You were shaking hands with him over a trade deal. He's today been forced to resign from the House of Lords, the upper house of the British Parliament, over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Just wondered if you had any reaction to that, since obviously he was
I didn't
here.
know about it, but I really don't know too much about it. I know who he is.
Trump don't know much, but it's funny how he just attacks the woman. Like, she's asking
Yeah.
about him. Come on, we're asking about these innocent children that we've all seen the videos of. Some of them look really young, walking around like some crazy sort of like Roman sort of spa thing, and I don't know, it looks crazy as hell, but there's young children walking around in weird things.
And they've been named. Some of them, they've redacted the names of some of these politicians and these stars, but they haven't redacted the names of the children who are now adults. So how is that fair? How is that fair? And this is what the woman was trying to say. There are women out there now that are literally exposed to the world for being part of this. And his answer was attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just, even if you turn around and said, no, that's really disgusting, and I'll be looking into that and I'll be asking questions, even that would have been better. But to actually just go, you never smile.
I suppose someone was saying today, can we really expect it? Shout out to Marie, hello gal. Can we really expect Trump to release something that he's all over, basically? Can we really expect that? But then also as well, obviously, Trump's only been in, Biden was in power and they had the power. They could have released it then as well. So I think there's a whole load of perverts in the political world. They've all been caught doing something nasty, and it's never going to get released, or the big fish are never going to get thrown under the bus, because they're big fish and they're the serious people. And this is sad, because basically what that message says to the world is, if you're rich and powerful and elite enough, you can have little children as young as 10 years old walking around in tiny little bathing suits and doing all sorts of madness to them. And that's the sick side to it, But unfortunately, we live in this sick world. We live in a world where people will openly arm some rebels and start knowing that they're going to go and kill and destroy a whole village and displace people. And guess what? We always end up with them right on our shores, in the hotels, or living right next door to us. In some cases, like how many Afghans are living next door to British people right now? Madness.
Have you seen the interview with Bill Gates where I mean, that's how it should have been handled. Bill Gates, I mean, I'm not his biggest fan, but he turned around and said, yes, I met him. Yes, he kept waving, like rich people under my nose so that I could do this global thing and blah, blah, blah. And I regret the time I spent with him. I never went to his island and I never went to any of his parties. That's how you answer the question. You don't go, do you know what? You're ugly.
Literally.
That's basically what he did.
Yeah, and the thing is, Trump said he's just good. Like, they could have just released. Why don't they just release everything in one go? Why are they filtering it out? You just know, like, we know what it is now. No one's stupid. Like, obviously you've got people with political allegiances now. So if you're right, Trump's in power at the minute, you're not going to believe anything. You can literally watch some ICE agent blow a woman's head off in her car, and then a bunch of bloody untrained, inbred freaking hillbillies fucking shoot a nurse. I don't care if he was kicking cars. I don't care if he was part of a group. At that particular moment where you grabbed him and threw him to the floor and decided to execute him, all he was doing was asking you trying to get in the way of a woman getting pushed over. And someone on a big podcast said the other day, why on earth was you pushing that woman like that? No man, no law bloody abiding citizen or a political or someone like, a serviceman, like a policeman, should be shoving women like that. But you've got these people so mad in their head with left and right, like they don't care. And obviously they're being paid good money. They're being paid real good money. For Superman to decide to put his cape down and go and join ICE, that's mad.
I think as well. I've got a video that's going viral at the moment, and it's Joe Rogan and some of the guy talking about the British, and he says don't underestimate them because they're very good at war. And obviously you go straight to the comments because it's got thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh no, I'm not bothered. I don't care anymore. Why should I get involved? Why should I get injured for them?" And a lot of people are thinking like that. I'm not going to help anybody because I'll end up getting killed, or I'll end up getting this. That's not.
Preservation of life is key. Like, why would we want to get involved? Like, this is what we've been saying for a while. Why would we want to get involved with any wars? Why would we want to be creating conflict with Russia and China, with countries that could generally take us out? Like, yes, we want to believe that we're this super country, and we are. We've got certain bits and bobs, but we have been surpassed by China a long time ago. Russia could wipe us out in 2 seconds if they wanted to. Like, it would literally. They even made the video and sent it, and they literally made a video showing what one of their bombs could do: turn the whole of the UK into a desert. Basically, into a radioactive desert. People don't want to fight in rich man's wars. 100% clear. This is what it's all about.
I understand that, but like you say, if you see somebody getting hurt, why wouldn't you run and help them? A lot of people are saying the same. It was none of his business. This Alex Pretty, he shouldn't have been involved. It was none of his business. But it's just a reaction to go and help somebody.
Honestly, this is clear. We literally had someone from America. We had someone from America yesterday telling us they are getting notification that ICE is operating in their areas, and she is scared shitless. She is just staying in her house, going to a college, coming back home, doing what she's doing, and she is scared. Real people are scared. Because the way this is mad. Like, you can't. Is it safe? Is it safe for you now to have a gun on you? If ICE pull you over and you've got a gun on you, they can try grab your gun off you. Incompetent pricks. Let that gun misfire, and then someone else just blows your brains out. You're not safe. Who wants to live like that? Who wants to live in this amazing American country that they talk about? Honestly, it's.
Do you know what gets me when I think about it as well? That woman that was knocked to the floor, they were obviously trying to grab her because I think she was the immigrant that they were trying to grab. There were 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them trying to grab a woman. That just shows you how incompetent these people are. A proper person that's been trained to detain people can do it on their own. They don't need 4 or 5 other people. So that just shows you how little training that they've had.
Yeah, I think obviously in security, I've been in the security world. Normally, it's 3 to 1. Like, you're not actually in the security world. You're not actually meant to be a superhero and try to do things on your own. You can. Bigger guys can normally do it, or skilled guys can normally deal with situations on their own. Fine, but officially, you're not actually meant to jump in on your own. Like if there's a fight, you don't just jump in like they do in the old movies. Like, you know, you target it, like you wait till your backup's there first, 3 of you, and then you look, you target, you look, you risk assess, and then jump in. There's no risk assessment. All we're seeing is shoving women violently. You trying to that guy that shoved the woman, you trying to tell me he doesn't beat women? Check his rap sheet. That man batters women, like, you know, 100%. He's a wife-beating, small penis prick, 100%.
Exactly, and he's probably got a big weapon in it. You know, that's his making up for it. I mean, it's obvious these people are just bullies. They're
Bullies.
pack mentality bullies, and to see what they did to that guy was disgusting. It was mob mentality with weapons. And we spoke about this yesterday with that girl from America, and we said, thank the Lord we haven't got weapons like that in this country, because we've got idiots here.
Yeah.
Proper idiots.
You would see the lion spirit then, wouldn't you? Sure, you would see it, but unfortunately, you'd see some proper moral. Like there'd be mass shooting. If we had guns here, if you were able to go buy guns like you would in America, you know, there'll be mass shootings every day. Mass shootings every day, because ultimately, and if you say to us, if the Americans say to us, why don't you allow your people to have guns? Because we know you can't trust people. You can't give people a gun and say, okay, we're gonna give you this 1-day training course, and it's gonna give you a license to open carry, and from here you're gonna be able to walk around with a gun. Okay, and what they do in America? This is my car spot. This is my space. You're in my car park space.
They are the reason. They are the reason that we don't carry arms.
Literally,
America is the what is it? Experiment. And we're watching America, and we're looking at them and saying, we can't do that in this country. We can't do that because they're idiots over there with those guns. Like you say, they're fighting over car park spaces, women, children. You know, men are literally going up to women that have turned them down. Pfft, gone. It's bad enough with the weapons we've got here anyway, you know, poking things and, well, you know, acid and things like that.
I think, you know, to give, I don't want to say poor people, but to give to give the people of lower means guns is the worst thing you could do. Like, you know, and maybe that needs to be looked at, because someone with their life in order, and they're like got a house, got a nice car, got a nice job, that person's not going to go out and start shooting people. He may do, and sometimes it happens, but I feel like, you know, on the ground level is where you give those people guns, you're going to have big problems.
Well, they've got nothing left to lose, have they? They've got nothing to lose.
School shootings every week, but Americans are more interested in ICE. It makes no sense. Well, I think Claire, I think you, like, you know, we spoke to an American yesterday, you know, and she's generally scared. She's generally scared when ICE are out in their neighborhood. And I know there are shootings every day and stuff. I don't think it's every day in the schools. I don't think every day. I think we kind of exaggerate with that. But there are school shootings. I'd probably say, like, probably every week there's probably a school shooting or something like that. But this is a real person that we spoke to yesterday having real fear of being killed, because, you know, she's more leaning left. You know, she's not like anti-immigration. Like, she doesn't mind people that have come over and people that have worked and contributed to society. She doesn't mind those people being able to stay. She didn't have no problem with the criminals, people that have committed crimes, people in the prisons. And that's what Obama done. Literally, that's what Obama done. You know, when they say about Obama being the deporter in chief, like the guy that deported over 3 million people, Donald Trump won't even get near to it. What he done is he went to the governors and said to them, right, give me all your criminals. Anyone that's bad news, give me them. Let's get them out of here. And he had cooperation. But the way Trump has been, he's been so divisive and so sort of outlandish. And, you know, the other day he was praising the Hells Angels, like, you know, and that's equivalent to someone praising the Bloods and the Crips, one of those gangs, like, you know. He's so divisive that, you know, people, and a lot of people feel let down by him. I know all the Mexicans feel let down by him. The Mexicans that were waving the flag and singing the song, all of them, and then, you know, they're lucky I ain't done my meme of them on the bus doing that song and chain.
Yeah, in fact, like, maybe that's what you should do this afternoon. Yeah, I just think with Donald, he wants to beat those numbers. With Donald, it's all about the numbers. He's a businessman. He has to beat it. He has to beat it. And that's what he's done. He's weaponized ICE. Because ICE has always been there. ICE have been there since, like you say, since Obama, Biden. they've always had ICE. What he's done is he's weaponized it now, and he's gone, go get me the numbers because we're going to beat this. I'm going to put these numbers forward
Yeah.
at the end of my 3 years and say this
Yeah.
is what I did.
Yeah, but without the governor's help, he's without the governor's help. Like that's I even though he has been divisive, just seeing what ICE are doing, I would do two things if I was a governor. One, I would just literally cooperate. So if we do have any criminals in the jails, or we do know of any criminals, I would give the locations to the ICE agents because they're not helping by they think they're spiting Trump. They don't want to be seen to cooperate with him. But what they're actually doing is they're pulling in those innocent people that yes they jumped the border, but they've been working, they've contributed to society, they've made families, they've settled over 20 years. Like those are people aren't a priority, and even Trump's his he's all for the elite, and they need those people on the farms picking, and they need those people, so they've already been told. Trump's already been told those people are fine. They need to be able to stay, but everyone's getting rousted up because there's no cooperation from the governors, so the ICE agents are literally having to go in so it's not helping. So it's kind of counterproductive. So I would say for the governors, at least give them the criminals.
I think as well, a lot of those January 6ers were given ICE jobs. There's January
That's
6th.
shocking. That's shocking. And do you know how many of them have gone back to jail as well? A lot of child P's as well. A lot of them, these weren't good people, man. These weren't good people.
No, apparently that what's his name, Greg Bevan. He was a January 6er. Now he's the head of this ICE. He's this really little guy who wears the trench coat and looks like he's come straight out the Gestapo. Basically, he looks like he's walked straight out of there, and he's obviously got little man syndrome. He's also, I think we've mentioned this before, he's also the result of an immigrant family, Italian immigrants, which is ironic, really, isn't it? When you think that...
you sent me a very funny video earlier about the reform guy was it Birmingham, Bournemouth or Birmingham? I can't remember. Bournemouth, wasn't it? Birmingham, yes. So the Birmingham guy, the Birmingham leader for... one of the party leaders for reform is an Asian man, and you sent me the video, and obviously it was all about the comments, basically. People were like, send him home, we don't want him, send him home. And someone was obviously saying, this is what you get when you peddle the sort of the right wing sort of kind of get them all out kind of stuff. Shout out to Birdie.
Do you know what I've noticed as well in America?
Yeah.
You're either one or the other. So it's like you're either Democrat or or
Republican.
Anyway, blue or red. You're blue or red. You're a blood or a crip, right? So there's no in between. Like here we've got an extra. We've got a couple of extra parties here, there, and everywhere. At least we've got choices. At least we can admit we're down the middle. Some of us are down the middle.
Yeah. I think there is ultimately. Do you know what they say? There's normally only two parties that can win, and we do have other parties. And this is what a lot of the reform people are saying about the what are they called again? First something. What's that other part? That new party?
First for Britain.
No, the one that they tried to remember. We went to the thing and they said they gave you a flyer for it. That other party that's come in, Advanced UK. Well done, Claire.
That's it, Advanced UK.
Claire. It's so good having Claire in there. She just
I was going to say because I was like, whoa, that's insane.
The reform voters are saying a vote for Advanced UK is basically a vote for Labour, basically, because only one of those parties are going to win, and they're going to basically just chop up the voting system sort of a little bit,
You'll probably find as well, like the Conservatives have done. A lot of them, if say like Advanced UK was to get in, a lot of the Labour governors,
they're all like
jump
I said,
over.
They're all miniskirt streetwalkers, mate. They'll jump over. They'll jump ship the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if Kemi Bodnick is working with Farage soon.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Joint party leader. That'd be hilarious.
I just think people, again, I say this again, don't forget as well, Nigel Farage is on that list.
Yeah.
He's on that Epstein list. Right?
I didn't actually know that. Is that actually true?
Yes, 5 times he's on that Epstein list.
Has that made any? Will that make any reform voters think twice?
I don't know, but people are screaming about this
Yeah.
Epstein list. But remember this: he's on that list. He's obviously going to be on that list because he's that far up Donald Trump's arse. He's gonna have been part of that.
Yeah. That's see for me. I would love to see reform get in and watch them make a mess of the country, just so people can actually see it. And don't want to, if they do get in, and when they do make a mess of the country, or when they do start taking stuff away from people, I don't want to hear no excuses. Oh,
No.
it wasn't Nigel Farage. He didn't do this. I had someone, they were talking about Brexit earlier, and someone was saying, oh, Nigel Farage had nothing to do with it. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like the biggest
I was
flagship.
going to say he was the head of it.
Yeah, it literally was like the biggest sort of like, the busy. He's just out there, bloody. He's driving
He was the
buses
European
round.
minister. He was the minister for Europe.
Yeah.
So he was the main thing. Him and Boris Johnson were the main people, and people have to remember this. But I'll say it again: he's on the list.
Yeah.
Do you want a man that was sat with a known pedophile?
They don't care. No one. They don't care. Like, on left and right, they don't give a shit. Like, they really don't. Video images could come out with Donald Trump spanking, doing some foul stuff, and they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. Honestly, they're so. And do you know what? This is the problem. A lot of Republicans, a lot of them are like, a lot of them are very wealthy. Like, especially the top sort of tier people, they're really wealthy. They care about their bottom line. If they've got companies and stuff like that, tax breaks, they care about that more than anything else. They got armed guards. They don't care about everything else. But these kind of people have they have reach because they have massive followings on social media. So they'll just push out whatever the agenda is, they'll just push it out there. But in their mind is tax breaks and all these things that benefit the lovely the top 5% of the world, or whatever it is, or top 10%.
I heard a rumor, right? And so I've got to say allegedly, and you might like this. Allegedly, Keir Starmer went for royal assent on the IDs, and King Charles said no.
Wow.
I'm not signing it. I'm not doing that to the people.
Wow.
And Keir Starmer stomped off and said, you have to remember you are merely a figurehead. And he said, I don't care. I'm not doing it. Now, if this turns out to be true, we may have got a king. I just thought I'd throw that in because I went down a bit of a rabbit hole last night and I saw it and I thought, go on, Charles.
We'll have to do some digging on this. But yes, guys, we thank you all for joining us today. Tomorrow we do our shows daily, and we do want people to come and take part in them. Kitty, anything you want to say before we rack and roll?
No, just women, men, start behaving properly.
Start behaving properly indeed. Right, guys, have a fabulous day, guys. Everyone, peace and love. Thanks for coming in from TikTok, guys. Peace and love to you guys. God love me, God love you, and goodbye. And then let's